Hello, my friends. Faja here. Let's continue talking more about Digimon lore. And we're going to continue on with our series talking about Project ArkThe, the X antibody, Program X, and with this inclusion, the Digital Hazard. Now, in the previous video, we talked about the Digital Hazard's plan and their hand in everything that would eventually lead into Project ArkThe. And the main reason why the Digital Hazard led the digital world down this path was for the sake of releasing their first and greatest minion. For Lucemon, being one of the Prime Digimon was an integral part of the Digital Hazard's plan to destroy everything. For even amongst the Prime Digimon, it was Huanglongmon and Lucemon that were the leaders of that pantheon. The override source code granted to them allowed them utmost and utter control of the digital world, only surpassed by Yggdrasil itself, and of course, the monster makers. Lucemon would use its override source code under the manipulation of the Digital Hazard to seal away Huanglongmon forevermore within the very core of the digital world, within a crucial layer of Yggdrasil's core itself, making it impossible to reach. Lucemon would use the remainder of his override source code to create the 7 keys of corruption, and a cocoon of destruction that would be his greatest creation, the Gate of Deadly Sins. Though the name Gate is a misnomer, as this in itself was an incubator for a terrible weapon. But with Lucemon sealed away, this weapon would forever wait its master, and thus the Digital Hazard would enact one of its many different plans, guiding the digital world in the shadows, manipulating it towards the Project ArkThe that it needed so greatly. A destabilization of the entirety of the digital world that would release the Digital Hazard's greatest pawn to continue their plan of destruction. For the server of the digital world, reaching its capacity was an inevitability, one that the Digital Hazard counted on. And as Yggdrasil would gather the pieces required to begin Project ArkThe, the Digital Hazard would also lay pieces to be found and discovered to be used as material for this project, which gave the Digital Hazard access to the X antibody and Program X, all of which would be used to create their next weapon of destruction. And this would subsequently lead into the events of Digimon Evolution X, which was also mirrored by Digimon Chronicles, and then further on continued in Digimon Chronicles X. These events ultimately led to the digital world ascending beyond the needs of a physical server, and eventually to the events of Digimon Frontier, which would lead to the events of Digimon Chronicles X. And we'll continue this in the next video.